I don't think a single investor should have to roll the dice on their financial freedom.
Tonight we're going to talk about Senate Bill 608, and we're really going to talk about two things that comes out of this bill that affect what we're talking about tonight. One is the idea of what's happened, the limitations on no-cause evictions, and the other is rent control itself. And I've started this presentation with, welcome to the first state in the country with rent control. We're going to see how this works. So Senate Bill 608 restricts no-cause evictions. Before the passage of this bill, unless a person was under lease and the lease hadn't expired, or unless a person was under subsidized housing where a contract had a different requirement, we could give that person a 30, or if they'd been there more than a year, 60-day no-cause eviction notice. That could be because we wanted to do something different from the property. It could be for some practical reason. It could be because we're solving problems, but we're solving problems in ways that don't require us to ruin that tenant's tenancy record or don't require us to prove that all those 5-minute stops at night are drug transactions. So that ability has gone away mostly, but not completely. We can still issue no-cause eviction notices during the first year of tenancy. And that's a term of art. You would think, gosh, that sounds like English to me, but it's actually a term of art. The first year of tenancy happens one of two ways. One way is the way you think it does. They've lived there less than a year. That's the obvious one. The other way it happens is if your tenants move in somebody, they change the configuration of tenancies. As soon as they've done that, now you want to add a roommate. That restarts the count, and they're in their first year of tenancy once again. So now, by saying yes, and this is a strategy, you know, you're going to hear me talk about unintended consequences to the tenants. This is one of them. One of our strategies can be to solve the problem of the loss of no-cause eviction notices is let them change. Let somebody bring in a roommate. Let somebody swap one tenant for another. Because as soon as you've done that, it doesn't matter how long they've lived there, you're back to counting within 1 year. So, there's some exceptions to this. Let's say as an investment and as a home you bought a duplex. Or you have a home and you have another unit out back on the same property. So either way, we're talking about 2 units. The owner occupies one of those, you can always give a no-cause eviction notice. There isn't a limit regardless of how long they've been there. I skipped over for a second. I talked about giving no cause, but I didn't talk about month-to-month versus term or a lease. If it's month-to-month, of course, you give a 30-day notice, and 30 days later they're out. If they're under lease, you need to give that 30-day notice on the beginning of month 11, so it hits before they've been there a year.
I don't think a single investor should have to roll the dice on their financial freedom.